Can you repeat that?
Yeah, definitely. So here we definitely have a slab crack that's at least 10 feet. So I basically have it marked on the report that it's up to 10 feet. It could be longer when we pull the tile up, but it's hard to say without the tile actually up. So that's one issue. Basically that tool is an altimeter, so it makes it so that I can check the elevation changes up to 1/10 of an inch. So 1.0 would be an inch, and anything under there is 1/10 of an inch increments. The way it works is I basically start at one point and I zero out. So if you imagine this is the front door, that's where my 0 point is. So all these numbers are relative to that 0 point. It doesn't necessarily mean that that's like the flattest part of the house. So basically what I'm looking for is any inconsistencies as far as numbers go. Obviously when they first poured the house, in this case back in the 60s, everything was completely flat. Concrete self-leveling, they pour the slab, everything should be completely flat. Over time, every house experiences settlement. So depending on the degree of settlement that it's experiencing, we can see bigger numbers or lower numbers, but essentially I'm just looking for anything over or under 3/10 of an inch. That's like the number of tolerance that I'm looking for. So as you can see, if I zeroed out here by the front door, my highest point in the house is in this back corner by the bathroom, which is a 0.6, so it's over half an inch higher than this section. And then my lowest section in the house is over here by the bathroom and kind of by the front door a little bit, and that's minus 0.2. So altogether, I have not quite an inch, but basically 3/4 of an inch drop from this section to here. So if I draw a topographical map, and you kind of just imagine all the yellows, the areas that are high, the red are the areas that are low, and then the green is somewhat flat or level. The tricky thing about this is figuring out what the baseline for the house was when they first poured it and what's actually dropped and what hasn't. Given the fact that this area over here is connecting to the other house and I'm seeing these high numbers fairly consistently over here, I'm more inclined to believe that this is closer to our flat point. So anything past that would have dropped from this 0 point. Because unless we have like a tree root or something that's actually pushing up on the house, it's very rare that we actually get a heave where it actually pushes it up. Most of the time we're seeing settlement, which is sinking. And it's caused by 3 different things, and we'll go over that. But I would say from this house, or this side of the house to that side of the house, there's about a 3/4 of an inch drop. We are seeing signs of damage as a result of that. If you come walk out here, the block, it's pretty easy to tell when there's stress on the foundation because you'll get a crack that starts stair stepping. It basically follows the line of the block, and it usually starts from up through the footing and through the stem wall. And in this case here, you can see that the crack starts to form and it's starting to stair step out up this way. It's not the worst stair stepping I've ever seen, but that in combination with the slab crack and then some other cracks that we're seeing around the house, it's lining up with the data that we're seeing essentially. All the cracks we're seeing on this side, this seems to be the low side of the house, and over there looks in fairly good condition.
Can I see that? Because in the house, you couldn't see it. It was like white.
Yeah, no problem at all.
Okay.
And they'll have a copy of this as well.
Okay, perfect.
Sent over to them. So if you imagine this is where the slider door is, this is where the front door is, we're standing over in this area.
Okay.
I know it says 0 because that's 0 point, but our high spots over here is 0.6.
Okay, thank
So
you.
I just wanted to run you through that and basically the data that I collected so far. From this point, I feel comfortable recommending a couple of solutions of what we can do to fix it and prevent the house from moving any further.
Is it serious?
The tricky thing about foundation repair is that, you know, no matter how much experience I have, I can't say what's going to happen tomorrow or in a week or in a year from now. All I can say is once things start moving, they always continue to move. At what rate, it's hard to say. When we have a timeline from the 60s to now, this could have happened slowly over that time. It could have happened in the past 10 years, past 5 years, past year, I don't know. So anytime we're seeing issues where you're no longer 100% structurally sound, we're always going to recommend that you get back to that baseline. So for instance here, this slab crack that's coming through, that's going to continue to go through the slab. That's not going to stop. So stitching that back together and preventing that would be really good. In areas like this, I don't like to see stair stepping. There's 4 stages of wall failure. The first one's just hairline cracks. The second one's stair stepping. The third one's deflection. So we're not to that point yet where you basically see that crack start to separate almost, and then the fourth one's just wall failure. So at what rate that happens, I mean, no one could tell you that, to be honest. But we do have some solutions to prevent the house from moving, and we put a lifetime warranty on it, that your house isn't going to move any further. The other big crack that I was seeing is in here. So this crack here is basically following the line of the lintel. So basically